So we are doing beginner to handstand part 2. So you want to handstand, you've been doing that first segment of the series, and you feel like maybe you're getting a little bit stronger, you're ready for more. So we're gonna do a part 2. I'm not sure if these are necessarily harder or just kind of along the same lines, but 7 exercises, 7 minutes of work. So we're just gonna do 1 minute at a time with a full minute's rest in between. And you do your very best, keep up with me, work the whole minute and rest in between. That's part of the mindset that you have to develop in order to be strong enough to handstand. You have to be able to stay in a position that is uncomfortable, like plank or the crunch that I'm having you do, and like say 40 seconds in, you're like, I hate this, and I hate her ideas, and why am I doing this? This is just your body, your mind, trying to get away from something uncomfortable. Instead, you do the yogic thing, you come to your breath, you get calm, you say, I can be uncomfortable, I can stay in a place that I'm not exactly loving, and I can push through. Now, obviously, any searing pain in the wrists or any of the joints, we gotta be very careful and mindful, but if it's just uncomfortable, and I know you know the difference, then we gotta push through. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is a hands and knees hover. You're gonna start with like a tabletop position, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips, and we're gonna be on the tops of the feet. So it's gonna make it a little bit more uncomfortable. If the toes were tucked, that'd be easier. We're gonna point the toes back. I'm gonna set 1 minute on the timer, and then we're gonna push the floor away and lift knees just a little bit. So get into position. I got the timer set. On your mark, get set, and let's hover this table. So you do that by pushing the floor away through the hands, and then you kind of tuck the belly in, lift the hips up. As you can see, I'm not lifting super high. I'm just lifting 2-3 inches maybe. It's not comfortable on the tops of the feet. It's not supposed to be. We do that because we want for the pressure, the weight to be in the shoulders. And when it's uncomfortable on the feet, the upper body's like, you know what? I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna do more of the work here, which is exactly what we want. Over halfway, you guys. So you're doing it, stay with it, stay calm, breathe. You got this. 20 seconds left. Tuck the pelvis in, pull the belly button towards the spine, and keep this big push from the shoulders. 15 seconds left. So now's that point when you're like, I hate this. I know. You don't have to like it. 10 seconds left. Breathe through it. Stay calm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Good job. So in some ways, that's as difficult or equally difficult as a full plank position. So if you're working on building up that full plank, that's a great way to do it. On the other hand, it's harder because it's not comfortable on the tops of the feet. It hurts. But we gotta start developing that wrist strength. The wrist and the shoulders are huge for handstand. And if you're starting this, not as a 10-year-old, and I'm not, I'm 42, not a 10-year-old, it's harder. We don't have the same bravery because falling hurts, we get injured, we're not gonna heal very quickly. We don't have the same strength because we're not running and climbing trees and jungle gyms and stuff. So we have to build the strength, we have to build the confidence, and then we're rebuilding that bodily awareness that you had as a kid because you were cartwheeling and flipping and flying all over the place. Your body knew where it was in space. It's new as an adult. So be patient with yourself and be willing to put in the time and the effort. 15 seconds left. And then we're going to come onto our forearms. We're gonna come down onto our forearms in a full plank, and we're gonna shrug. So we're just gonna push in and out of the shoulder space. It's a scapular push-up. We have 5 seconds. So come on down onto your forearms. There's the timer. It means it's time to go. Let me show you real quick. So look this way if you aren't already, and we're just gonna drop through the shoulders and push. So a little retraction and then a protraction. All right, are you ready? On your mark, get set, and let's shrug. So you're in the forearm plank, you drop in, you push out. This is not a head thing, it's not a butt thing, it's just through the shoulder space. It's like a little tiny mini push-up. It's a forearm push-up. And you're not really doing the work in the forearms, you're doing the work through the shoulders. Keep the belly pulled in. Think belly button spine. Feel like you're wearing a corset, like the belly is all wrapped up really tight. Halfway already. Doing a really good job. Lift up the kneecaps. Bring the heels right over the balls of the toes. Keep dropping in, pushing out. Retraction, protraction. And I know this feels like, well, why am I doing this? I want to do handstand. This is for shoulder strength. 10 seconds left. Stay there with me. Come on. Keep pushing. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. So that one was no joke, honestly. Those shrugs, those scapular push-ups are pretty tough. I was struggling a bit. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is an L crunch. We're gonna lay down on our back. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the left, squeeze the thighs towards each other. 30 seconds in, we're gonna do right over left, and then 30 seconds in, at the end, we're gonna do the second side. So it'll look like this. Legs up, ankles crossed, and just crunch in. And then halfway through, I'll tell you, and we'll switch legs. Okay, so it's really important that we develop the core strength, not only because you want to have a nice straight handstand, but also just lifting the legs. Yes, the legs do a lot of the work, but the abs do help. The abs do help, and I don't want you to fall over into a back bend. That can be scary. So we got to develop the ab strength, the core strength. So that's why we are down here on our back getting ready to crunch. If you're not there, get there. We have 5 seconds. Kick the right ankle over the left, point toes, flex feet, doesn't really matter. And here we go. Bring the hands behind the head, and let's crunch. You can also reach the arms forward if you like that better. Doesn't really matter. The idea is that we're working the adductor muscles, that inner thigh. Think belly to spine. Lift the shoulder blades all the way up off the floor if you can. We're almost halfway. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Cross the ankles the other way. Left over right. You know, when I have my hands behind the head, I find that I'm hiking myself up rather than using my abs to lift and pull. So I gotta do it. Reach the arms forward. You're almost done. 10 seconds. Exhaling as you crunch, inhaling back. 2 seconds. And rest. So that ab work, for me, never really stopped. I continue to keep doing it. Yeah, I keep working the abs, even though I can do a handstand, because it's one of those muscles groups, like the glutes, that if you don't continue to work them, they tend to want to get a little lazy on you. The next thing that we're going to do is L walk-ups. So now I'm getting you on your hands and you're actually going to start handstanding. I'm going to demonstrate while we're in our rest time. You want to be 1 leg length away from the wall. So put your leg on the wall, foot flat, and that's where your hands are going to go. So my hands go right here at the edge of my mat because I already had the distance kind of set up. But if you're not sure yet, put your leg on the wall, foot flat. Where the other foot is, that's where your hands are going to go. You're going to put your hands down, walk your feet up, walk your feet down. Then we'll do it the other leg first. Left, right, left down, then right down. And we're going to do that for a full minute. We'll start with the right side, and then the next time that we stand up into that L shape, then we'll do the left leg first. 15 seconds. Take care of the wrists in between. We have 5 seconds left. Slow, deep breath. And here we go. Time is up. We got 1 minute set. Here we go. Hands down, right foot up, then left. Right foot down, then left. Other way, left, right, left, right. Right side, right, right down. Left up, left down. Right side, left side. And continue to keep doing this, moving from side to side. You'll notice as that second foot lifts up, man, do the shoulders have to start to turn on. And that's exactly what we want. We want the shoulders right over the wrists and the hips in line with the shoulders. No, they're not stacked because we're making an L shape, but they should be at the same height. Keep going. We got 15 seconds left. Slow breath. Got 6 seconds. You can get 1 more set in. Right, left, right, left. Good job. So that L shape is a really nice way of making sure that you're getting the shoulders all the way up over the wrists and you get that nice, long, straight upper body. Helps you to open up through the shoulder space. That way you're not closing everything up. It's really hard to get a nice, strong, straight handstand if you can't even get the shoulders to open. And when you're in the L shape, you get a much more open shoulder, and so you're gonna have a much stronger hold. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is a wide-legged crunch. So we're going back, we're doing more abs. We're gonna come onto our back. And what we're going to do is when the legs are up like this, I'm gonna pull the arms overhead, and then I'm gonna exhale, crunch, open the legs, reach between palms together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, okay? So the abs are really going to be fired up today, and even bringing the arms up and overhead, great for the shoulders like we just talked about. We gotta have very open shoulders to come into our handstand. We're about out of time, so if you're not on your back, get on your back. We got a minute set. Are you ready? Start with the legs together and the arms overhead. And your mark, get set, and go. Arms overhead, exhale, crunch the center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, reach between the legs. Get into the habit now of keeping the legs very active when you're working in these handstand drills. So that's gonna look like either pointing the toe or flexing the foot. Doesn't really matter. I think a pointed toe looks nicer, but doesn't really matter. But when we point the toe or flex the foot, the leg activates over halfway. And when you lift up through the kneecap and you activate the quad, you get a much longer hamstring. And having the legs be active helps them hold their own weight much easier. Last 8 seconds. Get those shoulder blades up. Last one. And time's up. Let's see, what do we have next? Oh, all right. So this is a little bit harder because I'm gonna have you jumping, and there's just no way to learn a handstand without having to jump a little bit. You've gotta be able to jump up into the handstand because the other option is to press or to float. It's a lot harder. But I'm seeing though, as I work with more and more students to get that handstand, jumping in itself, it's hard. It's a struggle, especially if you've had babies. I've had 3, so I feel you. What we're gonna do is we're going to be in a down dog. We're gonna give a jump, jump. Then we're gonna walk all the way out to a plank, jump, walk back to your down dog, jump, walk out to your more like a plank, jump, and you get it. We have 20 seconds left. When you're in more of that long down dog or that plank shape, it's gonna be a lot harder to jump. It's okay, we're going to have really strong legs. In order to get a good jump going, you're gonna have to take your booty all the way down to the floor. So it'll kind of look like this. See how low I'm squatting? That's giving my legs that much more power to push. And when I push that hard, look what happens. The shoulders come over the wrists. And when the shoulders line up with the wrists, you get this effortless, weightless, all right, less effort, less weight feeling, and it gets to be much easier. When you have the shoulders behind the wrists, it's really hard. It's really hard to hit that handstand. So tell your legs to jump hard, jump full, take the hips over the shoulders, take the shoulders over the wrists, stack your bones, stack your joints. There's only one way to do that, jump bigger. How do you jump bigger? You jump a lot and you get strong legs. So let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's start in the down dog shape. Get ready. First we jump. Good. Now walk out to more of a plank. Take that booty back. Jump. Walk back the hands. Come into a down dog. Jump. Do you notice that as I'm jumping, it's not super loud? Jump in that plank. Walk back to a down dog. When I'm jumping, I'm landing and launching on the balls of the toes, and I'm letting the knees and the ankles bend. Halfway, big jumps. Even if you're not getting much of a handstand, I don't care. The idea is just that we start jumping off the legs and putting that weight in the shoulders. Walk the hands back out. Walk the hands back down, dog. The fingers should be spread, comfortably, not super wide. 5 seconds. Let's get one more in. Jump. Back and down dog. Jump. So think about that when you start jumping with your handstand. You need to jump lightly. In the beginning, it's hard. You know, if your camera or your phone set up, you'll notice as you jump, everything rattles because we're putting all of our weight. We're doing this. We're like, ooh, boom. And then the ground rattles and shakes. And I mean, I have a cement floor. So it's different if you had a wood floor or carpet, you're upstairs where, you know, there's not cement underneath you. You get this like rattling. But I want you to start thinking about jumping lightly. So look at my feet, look at my knees and my ankles as I jump. So I'm on the balls of the toes. I'm gonna squat back, still on the balls of my toes, launch myself forward, and then when I land, same thing. Balls of the toes and all my joints bent to take that impact. You don't wanna land like, bam, straight legs, straight, you know, locked out joints. You're gonna hurt your knees, you're gonna hurt your ankles, hurt your toes. It's a mess. So let the knees, let the ankles, let the toes, let all those joints, the hips, bend and take that impact. Think like a spring, taking the impact as something is bouncing. And it'll help you to land softer, quieter, and you're getting more control. So think to yourself, every time you launch and land, make it quiet, okay? So it takes practice. You're not gonna get it at first, but you're gonna keep thinking to yourself, balls of the toes, quietly. All right, we're gonna jump one more time. We're gonna do these single leg butt kicks. So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna be in a short down dog. I'm going to lift the top leg like a single leg kick, and I'm gonna kick my own butt with the leg that I jump off of. And I don't want you to worry about falling over, because with having that bent leg, kicking your own butt, there's really no way to fall over. I mean, look at the way that this leg is bent. There's no way to fall all the way over. This leg is close to the floor. So don't worry about it. Kick hard, jump high, kick your own butt, bend that knee that you jump off of. 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left, and you're out of here, all right? Here we go, the timer is set. On your mark, get set, and let's jump. Start with the right leg. So the left leg is up. Kick your own butt with your right heel. And look at how quietly we are jumping and landing. Balls of the toes. Say you do 5. Take a breath, breathe. You're allowed 1 breath, and then here we go again. Let's do a couple more. Kick your butt. Figuratively and actually. 3 more seconds on this right side. Get a couple more in. All right, switch legs. Jump off that left, lift the right. This one, tends to be a little harder. A lot of us are right leg dominant. Lift that top leg up like strong and straight. Let's take a breather. 10 seconds left to work. We got it. Kick your butt. Look right down between your hands. 3 seconds. Let's get one more in. Jump. And land. Good. All right, that is it. You got through beginner to handstand part 2, and you did fantastic. So some of the things to take away from today is that landing and launching quietly. Balls of the toes, think control, think quiet. It's gonna come with practice and with time. The other thing to think about is, remember, we're gonna start bringing the shoulders over the wrists. We wanna stack the joints. If you're jumping from way back here, you're gonna be jumping all day. You wanna come forward. As you come forward, you're gonna get so much more power through the shoulders. And let's say tip number 3 is work those abs. The abs are a huge part of handstand. That's it for today, guys. You did a great job. I'm super proud of you. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share on your social media. I appreciate it. Have an amazing day. Take care. Namaste.